Welcome to England. Is it England, Great Britain, or the United Kingdom? Are these all the same place? What do you think? The answer is not really. Let's take a look inside, shall we? As you can see, England, Scotland and Wales are three separate countries. Together they form an area called Great Britain. People joke about this. They think it's called Great Britain because it's great. It is great. I like to think it's great. But it's called great because of its size. It's to differentiate between Britannia in France and our own country, Great Britain. So in contrast to that, we have the United Kingdom. It's better known as the UK. Everybody understands that. Its full name, and you'll see this on British passports, is the United Kingdom of Great Britain and Northern Ireland. All of those countries are governed from London, which is, of course, the capital of England. There is another country, Southern Ireland, also known as the Irish Republic, or to use their language, Gaelic, Éire. It's governed from Dublin, the capital. That's a separate country. It's separate from Britain in that they use the euro, and as you can see at the bottom, be careful, separate visas are required for the UK and Southern Ireland. Even with a green passport, you still need a visa, and they're not cheap, so be careful about that. Arriving in the UK, when you get off the plane, you'll first need to go to the passport desk. It's usually quite close to the plane. In Turkey, you'll notice it's quite a long way from the plane in Istanbul to the passport desk, and the queues are not very long. You'll see queues for different desks. If you're a Turkish citizen, you need to go to follow the sign saying non-European citizens. Usually that's a little bit longer than European citizens. Maybe the officer at the desk will ask you, what's the reason for your visit? So you'll need to understand that question. What is the reason for your visit? And some answers you can give are, I'm here on business, or I'm here for a holiday, staying at this address. So don't forget to write the address on a piece of paper and keep it safely in your pocket. Another good piece of advice for the passport desk is taking a letter of invitation to the country. So if the passport officer asks, where are you staying? You can show the letter inviting you to stay with relatives, for example. Also at the desk, they might ask, how long are you staying? And you can answer, I'll be in the UK for 2 weeks, 1 week, 3 days, etc. Let's look at some important facts about the UK. The currency, the money of the UK, is pounds and pence. £1 is 100 pence. But as I said before, if you cross over to the Irish Republic, they use the euro. Although England, Scotland, Wales are technically in Europe, we like to think that we're outside Europe, and because we're a conservative nation, we don't yet use the euro. But I think that might change in the future. However, if you try to spend euros in shops in England, you will have problems. Be careful and be warned. Both the UK and the Irish Republic drive on the left. So be very careful when you cross the road. In Turkey, when you're crossing the road, you look for traffic coming from your left, of course. But in England, Scotland, Ireland, Wales, you need to be careful for traffic coming from your right. And as you cross the road to the other side, look for traffic coming from the opposite direction. As with all traffic, just be very, very careful, especially your first few days. Let's talk a little bit about the language people use. You'll hear people speaking mainly English, but in different accents everywhere you go. If you travel 20, sometimes less than 20 miles, we use miles, by the way, in England, not kilometres, you'll notice that the words they use or the accent they have is slightly different. Don't be surprised if you also hear Welsh in Wales. As you travel from England into Wales, the signposts sometimes change over to both English and Welsh, or, in some cases, only in Welsh. And of course, in Scotland and in both Irelands, they use a language called Gaelic. Okay, let's move on. The weather. Of course, everywhere you go, the weather is a common topic, especially in the UK. It's a useful way everywhere of starting a conversation with somebody that you don't know. Some examples of phrases you can try are these. Good morning. Nice day again, isn't it? Or, I see it's turned out nice again. What do you think I need to wear today? Do you think it will rain again today? Do you think I need to take an umbrella with me? If it's cloudy, you might say, those clouds look threatening, don't they? Meaning, I think it's going to rain. On a cold day, you could say, I don't know about you, but I'm freezing. Freezing in Turkish means ayaz. I'm very cold. What do you say when meeting people for the first time? It's a problem anywhere, isn't it? Informally, you can say about yourself, hello, my name's Deniz. What's yours? Or informally, more informally, hi, I'm Deniz, and your name is? More formally, with businessmen, somebody you don't know, you're meeting for the first time, you could say, how do you do? Nice to meet you. I'm Deniz. Or, pleased to meet you. I'm Deniz. Let's move on to shopping, a popular activity everywhere. Shopping in the UK is a very pleasant experience. As you can see, it can be expensive if you don't window shop first. Window shop means visiting different shops, finding the prices, comparing the prices. One of the disturbing factors about shopping in Turkey is that when you go in immediately, the shop assistant comes and stands next to you. In England, they don't do that. As you can see, unless you ask for help, no one will disturb you when you enter a shop and look around. If they do, just say to them, thanks, I'm just looking, and they'll go away. However, if you need help, you can say, excuse me, I wonder if you could help me. I'm looking for a pair of shoes for men. If you don't want to buy something, you can say, thanks, I'll call back later. Although they and you know you probably won't be back. Something that you should not forget. Shops in the UK normally close at 5 o'clock in the evening, or latest 5:30. So if you need to get a bottle of milk or bread from your local shop, remember to get it at 4:30, latest 4:45. If you want to buy something after that, however, you'll need to find a shopping mall, a shopping centre, usually outside the city centre, the town centre, and they stay open often till 10 o'clock, 11 o'clock, possibly 12 o'clock. Travelling around the UK, let's take a look at that. It's very easy, and there are many, many places to visit, places of interest, and they're usually free. Museums tend to be free, churches, parks, gardens, exhibition. Train tickets, however, especially recently, are extremely expensive. especially if you buy them on the day you want to travel. Be warned, if you buy them on the day, they're really expensive. But if you buy them in advance, you can save yourself a lot of money. If you buy them over the internet, be careful. You need to take the credit card with you to England with which you bought the tickets. On the train, if you can't show the credit card for that ticket, they'll be very suspicious and they'll probably ask you to pay again, and it will be very expensive. Travelling by train is comfortable, expensive. Bus tickets, they're a lot cheaper, but of course the journey takes longer and the buses tend to stop to pick up passengers and wait 10 minutes, 15 minutes. Some phrases you can use for both bus and train travel are, if you just want to go one way, I'd like a single to London, please. I'd like a single to London, please. Or if you want to go to London and come back, could I have a return ticket to London, please? Could I have a return ticket to London, please? Eating out. Everybody likes eating, and if we don't eat, we won't survive. It's a popular activity in the UK, although this is mainly in Indian, Italian or Chinese restaurants. In Turkey, you've probably noticed that Turkish people like to go out and eat Turkish food. That's fine, but English people like to go out to eat cuisines from different parts of the world. And one of the most popular meals in England is an Indian one. You'll need to book a table in advance. On the phone, you could say, hello, I'd like to book a table for 2 for tomorrow night. Hello, I'd like to book a table for 2 for tomorrow night. When you arrive at the restaurant, you could say, good evening, we have a reservation. The name is Özsut. When you're sitting at the table and you want to look at the menu, you say, could we have the menu, please? Could we have the menu, please? When you want to pay at the end of your meal, could we have the bill, please? Could we have the bill, please? Hesap verir misiniz? Travelling by taxi is next. Taking a taxi. Taxis are a popular way to travel around cities well known by tourists, especially in London. You'll need to find a taxi at the nearest taxi rank. That's where the taxis meet and wait for customers. You perhaps could ask somebody in the street, where's the nearest taxi rank? Can you say that? Where's the nearest taxi rank? When you're in the taxi, tell the driver, I would like to go to the museum, I would like to go to the park, I'd like to go to the exhibition in the city centre. You'll notice that when you travel by taxi in England, all taxis in the UK have a meter which shows the cost of your journey, and the driver won't let you open the door to get out of the taxi until you have paid. Don't worry, English people don't like to jump out of taxis without paying, but it's just a precaution to prevent people doing that. Emergencies, difficult situations, acil durumlara. You may need the help of the police one day. We hope not, of course. Police officers do not carry guns in the UK, by the way. They're happy to help you. If you're lost, you can ask them, could you tell me where there's a public toilet? Could you tell me the way to something? Or, excuse me, someone has stolen my purse. Purse is cüzdan for women. Someone has stolen my purse. For men, cüzdan is, what do you think it is? Wallet. Cüzdan for women, purse. For men, wallet. W-A-L-L-E-T. Or, and hopefully this won't happen, if you saw something illegal happen, I'd like to report an incident. Incident means olay. I'd like to report an incident. That's the end of everything I wanted to say. I hope you get the chance to visit my country and travel around. I'm sure you'll enjoy the experience. And thank you for watching.